Hey, people. We're back. We're back. So again, thanks for tuning into the ReShard Show. This episode is being brought to you by StreamYard. I guess recently produced a Tubi documentary entitled "I Am She, She Is Her," and they also released a new book titled "God, Please Wake Up My Adam. He is in a coma." Also,
Mhm.
she's worked alongside many great artists in various capacities as well. Of course, join us today. She's an apostle. She's a music mogul. She's an author. She done whole kinds of different things and being a very impactful person in the entertainment industry as well as ministry. Join us today. We have the one, the only Apostle Dr. Veryl Howard. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm so glad to be here with you, Ontario. And
Yes,
first
ma'am.
of all, let me apologize to you because I got my little time zones mixed up,
It's
and
okay. It's okay.
I got my little locations mixed up. So,
It's
no, I
okay.
was,
It's okay.
I know, but I'm just grateful that you still, stuck to the game plan and have me on
Yes,
here
ma'am.
tonight.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it.
Yes, things happen, but we're here, so that's a thing of the past now. Of course, I mentioned a few of your titles, but beyond those titles, who is Dr. Howard? Beyond the
Mm.
titles.
Wow. Well, first of all, the titles came from God because
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was clueless as to the
Hmm.
fact that one day I would have all those different titles, you
Yes.
know?
Hmm.
Um, so, hey, back in the day, I was heathen, partying, doing my thing, getting high here and there,
Uh-huh.
dating professional football players.
Hmm.
I had no clue that God was going to put all those adjectives and, or is it adverbs, whatever it is, in front of
Yeah.
my name, okay?
Uh-huh.
But I am a servant of the Most High God. I love God with all my
Yes.
heart. I
Hmm.
consider myself a prayer warrior.
Yes.
It's not anything I ask for, it's just who God has made me become.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, in addition to that, I represent and manage national recording singers,
Hmm.
artists,
Hmm.
quite a few of them, and
Yes.
also film producers.
Hmm.
I have been blessed to be an actress. I'm on a show that's been number one for 5 years. From what I understand, we're getting ready to shoot another season called Double Cross. I played
Hmm.
Diane, where I'm
Hmm.
kind of feisty.
Yeah.
And that's about child sex trafficking.
Hmm.
Actually, I'm about to shoot another movie this month. I've been asked
Hmm.
to play a role in a movie this month as an actress, as well as the Lord has
Hmm.
allowed me to produce.
Yes.
And one of the film producers that I represent by the name of Michael Chin,
Yes.
he and I work together on projects with respect to producing. And so, this particular project you mentioned, I Am She, She Is Her, is one of the projects. That's a docu-film on Tubi as well as 160 other platforms, and I don't know all of them. Um,
Yeah.
but Michael, myself, and his wife Desiree, we worked together
Mhm.
on this particular project. And you know what? Last but not least, I forgot to say this. I'm also a global peace ambassador to the United Nations, which consists of 193 countries, as well as
Yes.
being an author.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of. Well, I gotta ask you, since you just said all that, like how do you even find time to rest?
You know what? Somebody said that to me. I
Hmm.
literally am trying to get that in order because I think
Hmm.
sometimes I get burnt out.
Hmm.
This past weekend, I got a little dizzy, almost fainted a couple
Wow.
of times, and my assistant, Elder Tar, had to pray over me. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I was just pressures up, dehydrated, ripping and
Hmm.
running,
Yeah.
not taking time out for myself,
Hmm.
trying to work in this industry, which is a hustle. And
Yes.
you know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Trying to, but still trust God in it, even though it's a hustle, still
Hmm.
trust God that He's going to make the way for me. He's going to open the doors. He's going to send the
Yes.
finances. He's going to send the contracts. He's going to send the calls.
Hmm.
It's an everyday faith walk.
Yes.
But I'm trying to learn how to balance it a little more because I've really been trying to maximize my singleness. I know when I get married, I'm not going to be able
Hmm.
to rip and run like this. all over the place, in
Man.
Africa 1 month, in another country the next month. I know I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm going to have to ask
Mhm.
my honey, is it
Yeah.
okay
Yeah.
I go to China, you know. So I'm taking advantage of it right now because I know
Yes.
soon to come
Hmm.
it'll be another day, and I
Yes.
won't be single.
Yeah. Or they could just hit the road with you. You know.
This
You
is
never
true.
know.
It's not like,
Yeah.
I have an
Hmm.
itch in me to go on the road. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
once you start traveling and you've been all over the place, it's
Hmm.
just like it's an itch. And
Yes.
you desire to do it. And
Hmm.
so you're right. It has to be somebody who is very much interested in traveling the globe and doing
Hmm.
ministry work
Yes.
globally.
Hmm.
And I believe that because I am somebody's helper, that
Yes.
that is part of his makeup. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yes, ma'am. And of course, you're originally from the DMV area, so which is known for like a lot of great music, great food, and a lot of culture. Like, so can you share like what was like growing up in the DMV?
What you know about the DMV?
I know go-go music. I know
I was getting ready to say, what you know about the DMV?
I know about the
Wow.
go-go. I know about what else is out there? Chocolate City. There's a lot. There's a
Uh-huh.
lot that comes out there. The good seafood, that comes from the from the area. So I know a little bit.
Know a little bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I grew up on go-go.
Mhm.
Go-go's our thing. We
Mhm.
still have big go-go street parties. I mean,
Yes. Mhm.
when a go-go comes out, they lock it down. You know, I'm telling you, I think I first in junior high school, pump, 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 pump it up. That's what I was used to. And when I went to college, matter of fact, I went to college in Oklahoma my first year.
Oh wow. Man,
Yes, I dragged all my go-go down to Langston University with me. And I
that's
introduced
only
them
at
to
least about 15 minutes
go-go.
from my house.
Really? Yes. I went there my
Yeah.
first year and then I ended up
Mhm.
transferring to Fisk because that
Mhm.
car ride was too far for me. I could,
Yeah.
trying to get home from DC to
Uh,
Oklahoma. I just almost 2 days driving.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was, my parents' only girl, the first
Mhm.
child, and a daddy's girl. And he was real protective. And he was like, this is a little too far. So I didn't go
Yeah.
too much further north. I went to Nashville, to Fisk.
Mhm.
So,
Which is another incredible school too.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And but it really was still far. It might have been like 7 hours closer, but
Yeah. Yeah.
still it
It's a
still
little
was
bit better.
a 10 hour, 11 hour drive.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
yeah, go-go is what I'm used to. I grew
Mhm.
up with it being a chocolate city,
Mhm.
us having chocolate mayors, the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
nine yards.
Yeah.
And but it's a very expensive place to live in. You gotta have money
Yes.
to live here.
Mhm.
I'm telling you,
Indeed.
DC is almost like New York. You know how
Yes.
expensive New York is.
Mhm.
But we're just a little bit lower down than
Mhm.
New York, but we carry some New York prices. So,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, but anything you want is here. I mean, like you said, the food is such a
Mhm.
multicultural melting pot, just like
Yes.
New York.
Mhm.
You can find a jazz thing going any day of the week. You just have a lot to do here. And
Mhm.
so it's a blessing being from here.
Indeed. Indeed. I want to get into what inspired you even to get into like the entertainment industry because you manage a lot of artists. You're an
Hmm.
author. You do booking for people. You do multiple things. You're in the films. You're in a TV show. And all these different things. So what can you take us back to that moment? Like you say, okay, this is definitely what I want to do.
I didn't go to school for any of this. I didn't know
Hmm.
this was what I wanted to do. I went to school to be a doctor. My undergrad degrees are in biology with a minors in chemistry. And
Hmm.
then I have another degree in like physical chemistry. I mean, I always aspire to be an eye doctor, a sports
Hmm.
eye doctor at that, because I used to date professional athletes. Hello. So I
Yes.
want we're gonna keep it real up in here tonight. So,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted
for
to
sure, for
the
sure.
athletes on the field and whatnot. And after all that time in school and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord diverted me and I got saved
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in the interim.
Yeah.
And so when I got saved, he called me into um, what I do now, the gospel
Yes.
field. And
Mm-hmm.
so managing artists. And I always wanted to work in entertainment as a little girl, not
Mm-hmm.
work in it. I wanted to be in entertainment
Mm-hmm.
because I was born crippled. And so my mom put me in all these different types of activities like tap
Yes.
dance, ballet, Hawaiian dance, you name it. And so drama. So I picked up a love for the arts.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to act from a young girl. And my parents
Mm-hmm.
were like, They were highly educated. They're like, you
Mm-hmm.
taking your tail to college, you're gonna get you some degrees behind you,
Yes.
and you ain't doing all that other stuff. And so they knew what they were doing because if I had got sent out there at such a young age, I might have been
Mm-hmm.
turned out. You understand what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I'm real Ontario, I
Yeah.
might have been turned out. And
Yeah.
so God knew what he was doing through my parents when they said, no, go get your degrees and everything else. And so I went to school and got all this phenomenal training. So can't nobody take my degrees from me,
No.
trained in several areas. But the desire to be in entertainment came right back around.
Wow.
God has a funny way of doing things. I mean, I still
Mm-hmm.
had a thirst, I still had a hunger to do
Mm-hmm.
it. And so I
Mm-hmm.
started working in the play business. No, before I started working in play, or was it before or after? I can't remember because I used to do casting before I
Mm-hmm.
started doing casting recently.
Yes.
I started working with plays like Tyler Perry,
Mm-hmm.
David Talbert,
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Seagulls,
Mm-hmm.
all these different play directors. And a lot of these play directors right now are film directors.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so I established a relationship with them at a very young age, working
Mm-hmm.
with them. And so then what happened was when it came back around, I was doing marketing, promotions, radio buy. I was even doing script continuity with the film producer. I was also doing helping them. I was an acting coach,
Wow.
all of that. And then the Lord, he brought me back into it. He brought me out of the sciences back into it. And it was a guy
Mm-hmm.
named Michael Speaks. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
remember, he sung Jesus is Real by
Yes.
John P. He sung that. Michael Speaks came up to me when I was working with the plays and he needed a manager. He had gotten signed to Sony Records. And
Mm-hmm.
Sony, so he was like, will you manage me? I said, I'm not trying to manage you and not make no money.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that because, as a manager, you got to sit, you got to call people,
Yeah. It's a lot.
it's a lot, and you don't
Yeah.
know if you're gonna make money or you're not gonna make money. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Michael, I can't do that. And so
Mm-hmm.
he said, I'm going to Sony. So he went to Sony. He said, listen, I want this woman to manage me. She knows how to market, she knows how to
Mm-hmm.
promote, she's done this with the plays,
Mm-hmm.
she had the radio vibes, TV vibes, she know about street teams. He said, I want her to be my manager. So y'all gonna have to pay her to be the promoter.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for me to manage him, he convinced the promotional dollars of Sony to come to me. And
Mm-hmm.
so while I was
Awesome.
marketing and promoting him, I was able to start building up people to call to
Yeah.
book him. So when that
Mm-hmm.
little money ran out, we had dates.
Yes. It's amazing. And then, if you
Hmm.
don't mind, can you share some of the artists that you worked with over the years?
Oh
Some of the other
God,
artists that you work with
I
that
don't
people
work with
may
everybody.
recognize?
I work with everybody in different capacities. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, in different. If I wasn't managing them, I was promoting them. If I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
promoting them, I was doing radio tracking. If I wasn't doing radio tracking, I was doing publicity. If I wasn't booking them, okay. I'll just tell you some of the ones over the years and who I work with now in any of those capacities. I
Mm-hmm.
could even be the booking person. I could even be the manager. I could
Mm-hmm.
even be the promotion person. I don't, any capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked with Kurt Franklin when he
Mm-hmm.
was in the play. He got to
Yes.
start with us in a play over 20 some years ago. And that's how I met David and Tamla Mann and
Mm-hmm.
God's Property years ago when he was with Vicky Mack. She came to the promoters and said, we want to put Kirk in the play, but can he sing his music? And that's
Mm.
how he blew up because we were doing, oh my God, 6 to 8 shows a week. You're talking about 20 some
Yes.
thousand people,
Yeah.
average of 15 to 20,000 people. He was singing Silver and Gold. And the reason why we sing in the play.
Yes.
And then before, boom, it just shot right up.
Took off. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was working with them in a play capacity. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me?
Yes.
And so I have worked with, well, I've been with Dietrich Haddon the longest. I've been with Dietrich
Yes.
for 30 some years. I got hired by Ty Scott, back
Mm-hmm.
in the day when Dietrich first came
Yes.
out to root
Mm-hmm.
his tour.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dietrich was like, I'm not letting you go. If you could root
Mm-hmm.
a whole tour, even though he stay out there the whole time, he's like, I can't be out here this long. He said,
Yeah.
I gotta get home.
Yeah.
But so I've been working with him the longest, but I have worked with a little bit of everybody. I've worked with Vashawn Mitchell.
Yes.
I have worked with Jacqueline doing her
Mm-hmm.
bookings with Alan. I've worked with David and Tamala Man. I
Mm-hmm.
worked with Kirk, as I told you in the
Mm-hmm.
past. I
Yes.
worked with oh God, so many. Well, right now I work with Joe Kia, I work with Dietrich.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do bookings with Brie Babineau.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I still do bookings with Alan with Jacqueline. I also have
Yes.
Ashford Saunders. You know him from Sunday
Yes.
Best.
Yeah.
Um,
Incredible too.
I was,
Yeah.
yes, I was Pastor Wes Morgan's.
Mm-hmm.
Been with him for years. I
Mm-hmm.
managed him for like 7 years. I
Mm-hmm.
managed Papa San because
Mm-hmm.
I don't just work with American artists. I have Caribbean
Yes.
artists. I have a Caribbean
Mm-hmm.
artist right now that's really big named DJ Nicholas.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
incredible too. Yeah.
Sherman Gardner. I got him
Mm-hmm.
his deal with
Mm-hmm.
Ty Scott. Was his manager for a long, long, long time. Helped him get moved here in the States. Actually negotiated with Jamal Bryant and got him a deal when Jamal was in Baltimore,
Yes.
working for Pastor Jamal as his technological person of his video and his radio station
Mm-hmm.
that he had before he moved to Atlanta.
Yes.
Um, Jokia, big hair. She's got a song out right
Yeah.
now called
Yeah.
Happy. She's had a number one
Yeah.
twice.
Play that too. Play
Yahweh,
that.
my baby
Yes.
Titus Showers, who
Mm-hmm.
never gets mad at anybody. He always has a smile. He's had two number ones
Yeah, he's
also.
incredible too. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I had my babies from Bermuda last call. They had a number one called Victory. And then right around the time COVID hit, it kept them from being able to travel and all of that, kind of hurt their career a little bit. Then they
Mm-hmm.
got married, had babies, they got little kids,
Yeah.
whatever. So they're going to come out with some new stuff. But they had a
Awesome.
number one for 10 weeks on Fred Jerkins' label.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I mean, it's so many of them. I've worked with
Yeah.
Casey J.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with Kalante Gavin.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I called him the other day to try to book him on something with Dietrich. Um,
Oh yeah.
you name it. You name it. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So if I'm not directly managing, I'm doing something
Mm-hmm.
in a branding capacity or
Yes.
marketing
Mm-hmm.
or booking capacity.
Yes.
There are a lot of managers I'm close to, and we kind of help
Mm-hmm.
each other. We book each other's
Yes.
artists, and trying to make
Mm-hmm.
sure we all eat.
Yes.
Like Lisa knows, I just booked her on the Black Expo for South
Oh,
Carolina
nice.
in Columbia, South Carolina. I
Mm-hmm.
also booked D1. I don't know if you know D1, but I booked D1, me and C.
Nice too.
D1 is an inspirational rapper. I booked him
Yeah.
also for the Black Expo, the last Black
Mm-hmm.
Expo. I booked Zacardi
Mm-hmm.
Cortez and
Mm-hmm.
Joe Kia were on that. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been working with Zacardi way back when he was with James Fortune, because I used to do
Nice.
James Fortune's and Fire's
Yes.
bookings. And
Mm-hmm.
so I met Zacardi years ago.
Yes.
I worked with Brent Jones and the TP Mob. I took Brent
Mm-hmm.
Jones out of the country to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I'm his out of the country person. He's like, okay, you got something for me out of the country? I also
Mm-hmm.
work with that singing. I still work with her right now, Lucinda Moore. She can
Mm-hmm.
blow.
Incredible artist too. Yeah.
Yeah, she can blow. I mean,
Yeah.
it just goes on. I probably talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to her a lot. We do the girl
Yes.
talk and everything else. Um,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
I've worked with so many. I've been blessed. I've really been blessed.
So it's really safe to say you're in the know, you're in the mix when it comes to a lot of different things.
Hmm. And I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to stay on top of what's happening in the industry. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Oh, Jeremy's listening.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, pray for your sister. Pray for her. Because I was sitting on IG and I was not going to bother you on your vacation because I done already given you instructions as to what you need to do while you're on vacation. So
And
Jeremy's here.
yeah,
He
thanks for
said,
joining us, Jeremy. And thank you for making the connection and setting this up for us. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes, I didn't
Yeah.
even know he was on here, but praise God for that.
And then, of
Um,
course, you got into the well. Let me back up a little bit. Let's go to Double Cross. Let's start. Let's start
oh,
there, okay? So how did that opportunity come about?
oh my God. Okay. Woo. The executive producers, writers, directors, creators, Howard and Crystal Gibson of them Gibson's films. Long, long, long time ago, for 20 years ago, we were all in this film business together. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like the big sister of them.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal was an incredible writer way back then.
Mm-hmm.
Howard was 18, she was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And she was writing, and he was the youngest steady cam operator out there at 18. You just to see that a black
Wow,
man working a steady
that's
cam.
incredible. Yeah.
And so we would back then, Howard was getting these deals to shoot like over 30 videos a month.
Wow.
And so Howard trained me to be his script continuity person. I did
Mm-hmm.
casting and I walked real close with him. And Crystal was the writer. And so what ended up happening was we kind of all started doing other things. Crystal got married, she had her
Mm-hmm.
children. Howard got married, he had his children, but then Howard moved
Mm-hmm.
to LA. He was still doing the film stuff, but me and Crystal, I went into music, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So then when it was time for Double Cross,
Mm-hmm.
I reunited in the film capacity with them,
Yes.
in
Mm-hmm.
TV and film with them. And so I did some casting for Double Cross. And so Crystal, the writer who can write a script in one day, she's bad. I mean, I've seen her write a script for BET in 4 days, and they're like, "Are you
Oh
done
wow.
already?" And she's like, "Oh yeah. If I write anything more, then it's gonna mess it up. I'm done.
Yeah.
Actually, I was done before 4 days, but
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all 4 days."
Mm-hmm.
So she said, "I have there's a role in here you could fit."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Really? What?" 'Cause, I'm very animated.
Yes, man.
And she said, "Yeah, there's a role you could fit." And I was doing casting. And so she gave me the role. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened was I did my little role so good that I had me some little fans. So they kept bringing me back, bringing me back, bringing me back.
Yeah.
And so I found out from Crystal because we had slowed down for a second and they did another movie called Conspirators. And so
Yes.
I
Yes.
found out from Crystal that we're greenlit for the 6th season. If you watch Double Cross, you'll know that the 5th season left with me telling my son that Kane, his daddy, is dead. And people don't even know
Mm-hmm.
I got a
Yeah.
son by Kane. I'm one of the mothers that
Wow.
helps run that ring with him. And so
Yeah.
they don't know that Homegirl got a whole grown child over here by him. And so
Wow.
that's how Crystal, she's such a phenomenal writer. You're left like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Kane got another child. And then I'm like, and listen, we about to take over. So you need to get your little self together, stop
Mm-hmm.
partying or whatever, because your daddy's gone and somebody got to run this child sex
Mm-hmm.
trafficking ring. And it's going to be you, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I was left. And so season 6 is on and popping. I can't wait for whatever it is that I have to do in my role. I'm so excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm in some BET series as well. I've been in a couple of things,
Yes.
God has
Mm-hmm.
blessed me. And I'm also in the docu film of I Am She Is
Mm-hmm.
Her. I
Yes.
speak from the perspective of the entertainment arena.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're shooting this May. I'm going to be in
Mm-hmm.
something else. And I've
Okay.
been asked to be in a couple of other things, but I couldn't because it required me to cuss.
Oh wow.
so, so I was like,
Well,
nah, I'm good.
yeah. Stick to your morals.
I'm good. I said nobody will listen to
Stick to
me
your
preach
guns.
by
Yep.
sitting up there cussing. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't get, mad at the directors. They just, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I can't get mad at them. But one thing I like about Crystal is she makes me a classy, bad boss lady. I'm
Yes,
classy
indeed.
in Double Cross, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm no nonsense. And she's so good at what she does that she knows how to write it where I can do my thing and it has the same intensity, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yes,
because like
indeed.
I don't know if you watched any of it. I don't know if you saw the portion when I had one of the girls who thought she was gonna take my position. Okay, that's a
Yeah,
no no.
yeah.
Up with her hands like this.
Uh-huh.
And I told her, and I said, because I ended up letting her down because I was getting ready to
Mm-hmm.
tear her up. I don't know if you saw me on that season, I was tearing her up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was gonna let her down, and I said, "You either kill or be killed."
Mm-hmm. And
And
I gotta ask you,
you saw it?
do you use your own? Do you do your own stunts, or do you have somebody stand in for you?
No, Doc, this me. I
Okay.
fell on that ground. You'll remember when wait, wait a minute. I was in the room and the baby
Mm-hmm.
was screaming and I fell on the ground because the
Mm-hmm.
boy knocked me in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Mac walked right over top of me like I wasn't even there. Kane, I
Wow.
said, have some empathy for the woman that's running your your child sex trafficking ring. I
Yeah.
fell in my own cognizant on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and the director, bless his heart, his name is Gil Nelson. I love him
Yes.
because he pulls stuff out of me.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
kept
yeah.
saying, "You okay? You okay?" And I was like, "I got it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
got it. Just help me up." Because we had to do that take a couple of times.
Oh wow.
I was like, "I got it." Because I had to fall back because dude fall no, was back front. I don't know what he came behind me and
Mm-hmm.
bam, and I had to
Yes.
fall. And but it was me. It was my legs,
Mm-hmm.
my knees, my arms. Wasn't no
Mm-hmm.
stunt woman, but we do have stunt people. We have a stunt. We have a
Yeah, yeah.
stunt. We don't have stunt people doing our stunts, but we have a stunt coordinator.
That
You
teaches
know
you
what
know
I'm
how to
saying?
fall
We
the
have a
correct way
stunt
without hurting yourself.
Yeah, we have a stunt
Yeah.
coordinator. He shows them how to fight, how to,
Mm-hmm.
hit with them guns, he was teaching me how to slap and something else. Cause I was, oh yeah, I had to slap somebody, but they didn't put that in. That was season 4. I had to slap this young lady and he was
Okay.
trying to show me how to, do like this without hitting her. And, but they didn't put that in there. I wanted to see it in there because I wanted to see if I mastered it.
And then
Ontario, because I mean, he was teaching me the little tricks of the game. I wanted to see if I really did it right without a stunt person.
of course being from the DMV, I'm pretty sure you already knew how to fight. So just kind of had to you know go easy a little bit, I guess. And
I had to slap that girl, Ontario. She got smart
uh,
with Kane, and I'm Kane's right hand person. I had to let her have it.
yeah,
So I was
yeah.
afraid
See,
I was really gonna hit her. And my nephew said to me, he said his name is Ruru, aka
hmm
Brian, his real name Brian. He said, Apostle, Auntie, like that. He said, I'm a little scared. You're just a little bit too convincing. And I said, well, Ruru, I'm acting. This is all acting. He's like, yeah, yeah, but you were very convincing. So I just thank God, that
yeah.
I even had the ability to do it at this ripe old age of 25. You didn't laugh, Ontario.
You know, I think with the age, it's all about a mentality. It's a mental thing. So if you whether you're 45, 55, or whatever it may be, as long as you stay active and in shape and keep your mind sharp, age is just a number.
But
That's
that's
all.
to you and I, but that's not to Hollywood. Okay.
Yeah.
That's to you and
Well,
I.
that's true too. Yeah.
They have a different concept of what age is all about. But
hmm
I've been blessed. The Lord has kept me. If
hmm
I didn't have white hair and my the lady who puts my eyelashes on, every time she takes my eyelashes off, she says, "Oh my God, you look so young." I look like I'm 18 without eyelashes. And I said, that's all fine and good too, but I ain't taking them off. So slam some more on. So, but I do, God has kept me and the white hair I've had since I was 12.
hmm
But God has really kept my face. And I
Yes.
thank God and I pray all the time and I try to eat right. I'm like a health guru. And
Mhm.
and I learned a lot from in one of the TV series I was in on BET. I was in the Wesley Christmas story, the Wesley
Mhm.
Christmas wedding with Dorian Wilson,
Yeah, I remember that one.
Jasmine Guy, TC Carson, all them.
Mhm.
And
That's a good
Dorian,
movie.
yes, Dorian, hey, I played the pastor in that. So, you know, I was a little closer to who I really am.
Yeah.
And Dorian, who I'm gonna give a shout out to, he
Mhm.
would run 4 miles every day.
Wow.
Every day. He would make sure he was up very early. If we had set time at 8, he was up at 4. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He
Mhm.
just was committed and loyal to working out and keeping himself in shape. And he said to me, he said, if I don't run it and I don't eat right and I don't do right, he said, I don't like the way how I look on the screen because the screen makes you 15 pounds heavier
Yeah,
than
that's a little
you
bit
are.
more weight.
Yes. And so he was like, if I don't do this, I don't like the way how I look on the screen.
Mhm.
So you know, I took that note and I said, I'm gonna do like that. I'm gonna make sure I keep my body in shape. And as a woman, it's a little harder. We have cortisol issues and things more so than men.
Mhm.
If I look at a potato chip, I might pick up weight. So I have to work extra hard to try to keep it down. Hmm.
Yes, ma'am. And before we move on, one more acting, I guess, film question I'll ask is: there like a
You
dream
can ask
role you have
anything
for
but
yourself?
my weight and age, Ontario. Anything but my weight and age.
All right. So what is your dream role, or is there a certain actor or actress that you would love to do either a TV show or a film with?
It's funny you would say that because I do have a dream role. I want to play a judge, and I want to play a an attorney. Actually,
Okay.
I want to play an attorney more than I want to play a judge.
Okay.
I really want to play an attorney.
And what
And
brought on those feelings?
um, I just like that. I think I have it in me to be an attorney
Hmm.
because my
Hmm.
mom, when she was alive at her college, the dean offered me a scholarship to go to law school.
Okay.
And so when I first got in my business, a lawyer gave me a book like that thick with every type of contract you can ever imagine. See, we didn't have Chat GPT, we didn't have
Hmm.
AI, we didn't have all
Hmm.
that stuff. So I started learning contracts in and out. Like I could do contracts like it's nobody's business.
Hmm.
And so I think I would be a good uh, lawyer in real life. I really do. And so I want to play that role because I studied the law and everything else. And then judge, well, that's just hitting the gavel, but I think I could do that. But I
Yeah.
definitely I want to be somebody's prosecutor.
All right.
I want to go
Well,
after a criminal and
well,
let
it's
him
a lot
have
of them
it.
out there, so it's never too late to get into that field. So
Yeah, that's what my
say never.
friend says. My lawyer wants me
Hmm.
to go to law school so I can be a
Hmm.
judge. He does. He's like, you need to go on and do it. You need to go on and do it. You make a perfect judge. You need to go on and do it. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do any more school because I got about 8 degrees. And I just don't know if I have it in me to do any more schooling,
Hmm.
but the way this economy looking and the war and everything, I might need to think about it. And he's like,
Hmm.
you really should do it. I'll help you. I'll help you become a judge. But I want to play a lawyer, a prosecuting lawyer, and a judge in a movie or a series. Yeah.
Hmm. Gotcha, gotcha. And now we're going to transition into this incredible book that you have. All right. And of course, with the book, it's entitled "God, Please Wake Up My Adam. He's in a coma." So how did this whole thing start with the book?
Ooh, I don't want you to get mad at me. You promise you won't get mad at me?
I got you. I got
Okay. Well, the Lord has allowed me to be an intercessor on behalf of single men and single women. I intercede during Valentine's Day. I intercede during Christmas, Thanksgiving, weddings, you name it, because those times are tough. And I know they're tough for women because I talk to women all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women who are waiting on their mates, can go through depression, go through asking God, is this ever going to happen for me?
Mm-hmm.
I know you promised that I'm going to get married, pop out some children, but it's not happening. I'm now 45. Come on, God, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was interceding one night, just really praying to God, even about myself. I was interceding for singles and myself. And I said, Lord, I'm tired. I mean, I talked to him like this. I'm tired. I said, I'm tired of interceding. I'm tired of being single. I'm tired of being somebody's rib. I'm tired of carrying all of this that you have put on me, but yet you put it
Mm-hmm.
on me for me and my man to do it together. You know,
Yes.
the visionary. He's a visionary. I'm the person that
Mm-hmm.
fits in the visionary side. I said, I'm tired. I said, I'm tired of having to be tough to survive. I'm tired of feeling unprotected and unnatural by my man. I'm tired of not having anybody touch or agree with. I just went through the whole list. And I said, God, I'm not by myself. I said, I know some beautiful women out here who got it going on. They got 6-figure jobs, houses, cars, no bad credit, no children, no baggage, no nothing. And they are single. And some of them look beautiful. You know what I mean? Just beautiful human beings, single.
Yes.
And so when I
Yeah.
was crying out to God, he said, go to Genesis 2:18. And I'm going to tell you why I even
Mm-hmm.
made woman. And I'm going to tell you what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. So when I went to Genesis 2:18, when God told me he would put him asleep, it was not good the man be alone. And he put him asleep. So I'm going to make you a helper. When Adam woke up after God had formed Eve from the rib, Adam said, you shall be called woman, bone of my bone, and flesh of my flesh. And Adam, as the head, God had given him instructions to get the instructions to her. Okay? So I said, oh, God, that's all fine and good. But still, I don't understand where my Adam is. I'm here. I'm woke. Where is he? And so the Lord said to me that what's happened to me, as well as a lot of other females, is Adam woke up. But what happened when Adam woke up? A Jezebel spirit tried to come and manipulate him. A Delilah spirit
Yeah.
tried to come and strip him of his anointing and make him weak in his power. He's trying to live righteous. He's trying to do the God thing. And here she come on over there. The spirit of lust. You feel me? His wife right here. He about to claim it and boop. Here comes some hot tamale right in the church. Okay. Closed so tight she can't breathe. Getting in the middle and he on his way to her.
Yeah.
And her may not sleep with him, but this one will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she blocks, he
Distraction.
establishes
Yeah.
the soul tie, got a
Mm-hmm.
covenant thing going on. This one over here is like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? I mean, yeah. And then
Mm-hmm.
now he got to get detoxed and delivered from that soul tie that he established with her because he was really
Yes.
on his way to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's still here crying the blues, weary, tired, grieving, depressed. Where my man? Where my man? Where my man? And
Mm-hmm.
so I wrote the book and I was talking about a spiritual coma, not a physical coma, a spiritual coma, trying to
Mm-hmm.
block people from coming together, trying to cause a spirit of delay in marriages.
Yeah.
And even married people can go through that too, because them
Mm-hmm.
same demons can creep right on up in the marriage. And before you know,
Mm-hmm.
they talk about divorce. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's how God had me and why he had me write that book. And he told me to tell these women, just can't sit there and say, oh God, bring my man, I'm waiting on my man. No, no. You're gonna have to fast and pray for him on a whole nother level. You're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
pray that spirit of darkness, that spirit of Jezebel, that spirit of lust, that spirit of the love, whatever that spirit is, manipulation, trickery, deceit, whatever that is, trying to blind his eyes. You're gonna have to go to the next realm and pray that off of him, and that God will loose him from that, and that he will be able to get detox, cleansed, severed from them soul ties, so now he can see
Yeah.
and obtain of his favor. Because the Bible said he that found a wife found a good thing and obtain a favor. God didn't
Mm-hmm.
say to the wife, he that found a man found a good thing and obtain a favor. It's jacked
Mm-hmm.
up. It's backwards because women are
Mm-hmm.
tired of waiting. So they, some of them in the church, out of church, ask them to marry them. That's why a lot of times men come to a church, they're scared because every woman up in there going to say that he her husband.
Yeah.
Because he's
Get that a
single.
lot.
They're like, And tenors. A
Yeah, yeah,
single man in the building.
yeah.
Because they've been waiting patiently on God
Mm-hmm.
and thinking it's never going to happen. So that's how I came up with the book. And the book is to encourage not just women, but men too,
Mm-hmm.
because men need to recognize some men. I see men. I'm just being honest with you, Ontario. I be seeing men, and I know the woman run a game on him. He
Mm-hmm.
don't have a clue.
Not a clue.
Not a clue. Because some of these women, some of these women, they run game more than men. I'm
Yeah,
just saying, it's a
that's
different day.
true.
It's a different day. We in
And
2026.
they're more slick about it too.
Yeah, they slick. And he don't even know. She got a hook around his neck
Mm-hmm.
and he don't see it. And the only thing that could deliver him from that, the only person that could deliver him from that is prayer and God.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And this is why a lot of people end up marrying the wrong person
Yeah.
because they thought, because of their loins getting tired. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we all want to make love.
Mm-hmm.
God created us to want to make love. He created us to want to be held and kissed and
Mm-hmm.
caressed. That, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, can't hold on and they get with the
Yeah.
wrong people. And then later on, they're like, man,
Desperation.
yes, say it again.
Desperation.
Yes. So God had me write the book.
And I think that's a thing that's really, I guess, coming more to the forefront because even with some people I know, male and female, they've been talking about, I'm at a certain age now, I want to get married and all these different things. So I think that's something that's really come, like I said, to the forefront with a lot of people, especially in the church space. Like you said, people come in, whether female or male, and people know they're single. It's like you said, the antennas go out and go up, and then it's almost like, let's say, fresh fish or whatever it may be. People
Hmm.
flock to that person, because they have their needs or whatever. So, um,
It happened to
yeah.
me, Ontario. I bought a
Hmm.
man that really wanted to. Oh, my assistant says you have to make this public. They can't see it.
Yes, it's gonna be a separate thing. I'm
I
gonna
was
unlock it
wondering
after we
where
get
they
off
all
here.
were. They're all trying to get on. They said they can't see it.
Yeah, if they go to my actual Facebook page I sent you, they should be able to watch it from there. But they'll be able to share it after we get done.
Okay. I did. I sent them your page on my page.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but I tried. But I was gonna tell
Mhm.
you that I actually brought a gentleman who wanted to marry me to a church. He was
Mhm.
single and he wanted to
Mhm.
talk to the pastor.
Mhm.
I was torn with him. I wasn't quite sure he was it, but he was
Mhm.
very handsome.
Mhm.
And I promise you, I felt like I took him into an ocean full of piranhas. I'm just saying.
Jesus.
I'm just saying. I felt like I said, poor thing. He was just new meat, fresh meat,
Mhm.
up in there.
Mhm.
And people were um, actually asking him, get all in his face,
Mhm.
trying to give him his number,
Mhm.
you know. Um, I'm sorry, I'm telling them how to come. They're trying to hear,
Yeah.
they're trying to join us. But I just felt bad for him. I said, my God,
Mhm.
they attacked this man.
It be
And
like that. So.
yeah, I said, Lord. So that's why I'm praying. I'm just praying that God would bless a lot of single women, single men
Mhm.
with their mates,
Mhm.
whoever it may be,
Mhm.
that the Lord would, give them the strength to endure, to hold on, because this thing ain't easy. Trying to hold
Mhm.
on and live right and live
Mhm.
holy and be sanctified and
Yeah.
be encouraged when you see everybody else on grandchildren. I'm
Yeah.
old enough to have had a grandchild.
Yeah.
And so it can be kind of tough when you
Mhm.
see all of that and it still hasn't happened for you. And so the
Mhm.
Lord said in the book, He said, encourage them because if I said it, it's gonna happen. And the
Mhm.
other thing, Ontario, God told me I had to write it as a single woman.
Mhm.
He said, I had to birth it as a single woman. And
Yes.
he said, after I was obedient and birthed it as a single woman, then my husband is going to come. So
Mm-hmm.
wherever he is, wherever that Adam is, he need to hurry up and come on because God said so.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm not called to be single for the rest of my life because the Lord never told me I was called to be a eunuch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
And,
saying?
yeah. And let me ask you this then: is there a certain try to see how to phrase this without is there a certain quote unquote type that you looking for?
I'm looking for the God type.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do have an appetite.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody likes a certain,
Mm-hmm.
uh, a certain look, certain height. They like everybody likes that, and
Mm-hmm.
I do have a standard, because I
Yes.
told you I used to date professional athletes.
Yeah.
I used to be an athlete myself. So I do want a man who's in shape.
Yeah.
Um, he could be built. But I want one who loves the Lord more than
Yes.
anything. I
Mm-hmm.
want one, if something was to happen to me, getting sick or whatever it may be, um, it would he would be able to pray me through anything. I want a man who I can trust with the vision. I can
Mm-hmm.
trust as the head.
Yeah.
I can trust to steer me in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want you know.
Okay.
And I believe God knows my physical appetite too. I don't think God
Mm-hmm.
gonna let me be with somebody that I'm just really not attracted to,
Mm-hmm.
and them not attracted to me. But most and foremost, they must have a relationship with God, and they must really know Him. I need a man who could pray.
Mm-hmm.
A prayer warrior. I need a man that understands how to speak life over things. I need a man who
Mm-hmm.
can hear from God.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't need nobody leading me down a rabbit hole.
No,
So if
no.
you ask me if that's my type, it's a
Mm-hmm.
God-fearing man. And I need a man who will respect a woman who I'm a go-getter,
Yeah.
not try to put me down,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally abuse me. Because I've been through that with men I've been through it with pastors,
Mm-hmm.
because I guess I've had to be strong, not because
Mm-hmm.
I asked to be strong. And I'm out here by myself in this industry. I'm out here by myself as an apostle, So I've had men who have tried to put me down or minimize me or make me feel less than
Wow.
or make me not be appreciated or not respect who I am in God, not appreciate that God would bring a helpmeet who had all of that to offer. So
Let,
never
let me
my
ask you this
man
too.
is appreciated.
I just thought about something as she was talking there. You think they try to put you down because they're intimidated by your different gifts and your anointing?
Hmm.
You think that's a possibility?
Yeah, but I
Or
ain't nothing to do with that.
okay,
That's God's doing. And I try to tell
yeah,
them, I don't have, I'll tell you, I don't mean to stop, but they are texting me pictures of your Facebook page saying they cannot, they cannot hear us. I'm sorry.
it should be
Yeah,
two links up there.
I've texted them your link, everything you sent me. I've forwarded your
Oh,
message to all of them.
that's weird.
They
I'm
cannot.
gonna after
I
we get
couldn't get
done,
on
I
there
would just
earlier either. See it earlier either.
when we get done, I would just re-download this and then I'll post it and then I'll make sure I tag you
They
next
be
time.
liking to make comments while we on here. They,
Hold on,
you know,
hold on,
they
hold on one
interact.
second. Let
They
me
want to
see.
ask you and me questions.
Hold on, let me see where we at. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we wanna definitely have as many. I do believe my assistant, Elder Tara, is trying to get on. Prophetess Anna, who wrote the forwards, trying to get on. I text quite a few people, and they normally support.
Yeah, I can hear it on my end. So I'm not sure why they
Mm-hmm.
can't hear, but I will read after we get done. Like I said, I just
Yeah, they
re-download
can't
this
see
video.
it, they don't hear it, they can't interact. So it's okay, you guys. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I
I'm
tried.
yeah.
I
I'm gonna
tried.
re-download. I'm gonna re-download it after we get done. I'll repost it as well, so they can go back and watch it. And then, like I said, it'll be playing on the radio station tomorrow as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so they should be okay.
Gotcha.
They're gonna hear it. I promise.
They just
and
can't ask you a question. They interact They want to know who you are, Ontario.
I'm just a country boy from Tallahassee, Florida.
That's all right. That's all right.
But of course, we talked about you know just your history throughout music, as well as being in the arts for those TV, film, being an author, and now we really want to talk about the faith it took to be a minister in the gospel, which led
Mm,
to you being called to be a apostle.
mm.
So I gotta ask, when you first got that call, did you run from it? Because I know you said that you was hanging out, a little bit, and then
A
you
little
know,
bit. I worked at a nightclub.
I was trying to, memorize it, memorize it. I was trying to not take it too far, but
It's
you
okay.
did,
I worked at a homeboy. Look, God has delivered me. My tail, them little tight stretch pants women wear.
yeah, yeah,
I was wearing a full-fledged cat suit 20 some years ago with some high heels, stilettos on, carrying my tray like that, getting many a tips in the nightclub. Okay, so I didn't know what an apostle was,
mm-hmm,
a bishop was. I had
mm-hmm,
heard the term pastor. I
yeah,
didn't know what a prophetess was. I
mm-hmm,
didn't know what an evangelist was.
mm-hmm,
Trust me, I ran
mm-hmm.
when God called me because I was like, what am I getting myself into?
Because it can be a lot. Because you constantly got people like calling, or texting, "Hey, can you pray for this?" or "Can you come visit such and such in the hospital?" or running a church can be a lot too. Because especially in today's time, because you almost got to run like a business,
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot that people don't know about because they don't know about the behind the scenes. They just see whatever happens on that Sunday or at that conference. So that's one of the questions I tend to ask, when I know a person's a minister or whatever in the gospel, because a lot of people say they ran from it. So I know you just said that as well, but
I did a
take
marathon.
it. Did a Boston Marathon. All right. So when did you decide, it's time to retire now and it's time to, listen to God and go into ministry?
I've been through so much,
Mm-hmm.
so much that God has delivered me from.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just gotten to a point. He was like, daughter, I have needed you. You might as well check out then. If you're not going to do what I called you to do,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a call on your life, there's a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
there's a plan for your life. And because of all that I had been through, I didn't even know what a testimony was. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, you have testimonies that you got to share, you got to help other people get delivered, you got to share your lifestyle. That's why when I do interviews, I don't try to hide anything. I am just
Mm-hmm.
as open as I need to be, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, somebody may listen to this and hear this, and that could be their story, or they could
Mm-hmm.
still be bound, yet they still going to church. Don't think people that go to church don't get high.
Yeah. Oh
Don't,
no,
don't think they don't.
they sometimes have the liquor and the weed and everything right there in the car. Sometimes they even bring it inside the church.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I had been through so much, and the Lord was like, okay, either you're gonna bump your head up against a wall,
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna submit to what I'm calling you to do. And so when He called me in the ministry, I was like, oh my God. Uh, I just heard His voice. I just knew. And so I went to a friend of mine who's a pastor in Nashville, Enoch Fuzz. I went to him because I went to college in Nashville after I went to college in Langston. And I told him, I said, I feel like I'm called into this stuff. And so um, he put me through a test. He
Mm-hmm.
put me through a test. And he even went as far as not even returning any of my phone calls.
Wow.
And he wanted to see if my disposition was going to change,
Mm-hmm.
if I was going to catch an attitude, how I was going to respond. And so I passed the test,
Mm-hmm.
and he made me a reverend. It was two women at that time in Nashville, because a whole lot of women weren't preaching down there like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So he made me a reverend. And then from becoming a reverend, he was going to make me an elder and a pastor. So then when I went to another church, I started prophesying. I started getting all these prophetic visions and dreams and this and that. And because his church is a Baptist church. And so I went to a non-denominational church and I was like, what
Mm-hmm.
is going on here? Why am I singing in the future? Why do I know things about people? Why, I didn't understand none of that. And then the church I was at flowed prophetically, so that helped my gift. So that's how I found out I was a prophetess. So, and then from there, I went back into training as a minister, and then I became an ordained minister. And then after
Mm-hmm.
that, I became a pastor. I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, what is going on here?" and then, and then, after pastoring for many years, I just felt a shift.
Mm-hmm.
God was telling me, "It's time. It's time. I need you globally. I don't need you just to be in the church every Sunday. I need
Mm-hmm.
you going out." And I was like, "Whoa!" He said, so it's time for you to start thinking on those levels. So I kind of studied what apostles did, who they were, because I was a heathen, didn't go to church back in the day. I didn't know nothing
Mm-hmm.
about church. So I studied that. I studied prophets. And then Dietrich's mom, who is a prophetess,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
she guided me through being a prophetess. She got it because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand. I thought it was weird. So she guided me through that and kind of helped me with what was going on in my life. And so then, after God said, I'm shifting you to being an apostle, my overseer, who actually she passed a couple of months ago, 80 some years old,
Wow.
um, she affirmed me as an apostle, Apostle Naomi McGowan out of
Mm-hmm.
Valdosta, Georgia, because
Yeah.
she grew up in the time of preaching where you really weren't, women really weren't preaching,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
years old.
Especially in the South.
Yes. And so she affirmed me as an apostle. And then once I became an apostle, the warfare shifted. At each level, it shifted.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't never seen a warfare like I have as an apostle.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking to some people. I said, why didn't you all warn me? I didn't know on this realm that all these attacks on a whole nother realm
Mm-hmm.
came. And I said, who asked for this type of stuff? Why
Mm-hmm.
people pulpit thirsty, preacher thirsty? They want to be in the lights preaching.
Yeah.
They want to be apostles, bishops. I said, why are they so thirsty for this? Because when you're doing it for real, you are
Mm-hmm.
talking for the enemy. He
Yeah.
don't like you. He want to shut
Mm-hmm.
you down, stop you in your tracks. And I'm doing this stuff for real, for real. I'm not playing with God. I've almost lost my life a number of times. This is for real. I joke around and everything else because I have a sense of humor. But I love God and I love my assignments and I love the people of God. And so I take everything serious when it comes to ministry and the things of the Lord. And so you become a target.
Yeah.
And I've gone through some stuff as an apostle that I never would have imagined. So, but I can't run no more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Those days are over. And I
Mm-hmm.
just have to ride this thing out and do what the Lord has called me to do, be
Mm-hmm.
obedient, because I do want to make it into heaven. I do
Indeed.
want to seek glory. I do want to seek
Mm-hmm.
God. And so I'm just hanging in there doing what the Lord is telling me to do and knowing that my strength comes from Him. The wisdom comes from Him. I didn't have the wisdom and knowledge as to how to flow as an apostle.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that people just can't really teach you that.
Mm-hmm.
God has to teach you because it's
Yes.
different circumstances for different people. It's different assignments, different types of apostles, different audiences, different pastors you are encouraging and imparting into. So it's something that the Holy Spirit has to give you the grace and the knowledge and the wisdom to know how to do it. It's not you just wake up and have the whole solution as to how you're going to roll like that. No, God has to speak clarity, direction. God has to speak wisdom and knowledge. And God has to give you the patience and the endurance to deal with the assignment. So, yeah, there you have it. You still there, Ontario? Woo, did I lose you? There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I lost my host.
That was weird. I could hear you perfectly fine,
I told you
but
different levels.
see,
I just told you
yeah,
that.
and then that happens.
hmm hmm
Yeah, but we're gonna make the devil mad tonight. But before we get out of here, we had a couple of rapid questions for you. Okay, then of course, if you
Okay.
don't want to answer, just say pass. But so far, you've been answering, so I don't think it's gonna be any. Any issues here? The first question, rapid question we have for you is: if you only could do one thing out of the many different things you do, whether it's being an author, actress, a producer, a booking manager, a preacher, like if you only could do one thing forever, what would it be?
Well, I want, I want to be in heaven forever.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
Probably act.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
acting
Okay. And is there any particular reason why you would choose that over all the others?
because I wanted to do it from a little girl,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just very animated. My mother used to say, I didn't have ADHD or anything like that, but I've always been extremely hyper, extremely over the top. I love doing characters. I love the challenge of acting. It's a challenge to step into somebody that you're not.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
that part I really, really love. And so that was kind of a hard question because from a ministry standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to continue to do philanthropy stuff and help people who are needy. I have a
Mm-hmm.
heart and a burden for doing outreach and
Yes.
philanthropy. And I definitely want to become a multimillionaire so I can use my money to travel this globe and help people who are in need and less fortunate than
Mm-hmm.
I am. I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to serve God forever too. It's
Yes.
a trick question, but from the natural, I like
Mm-hmm.
acting.
Yes. And then, of course, if somebody's visiting the DMV for the first time, what three restaurants they must try?
Copper Canyon, I go there all the time. It's another one I just went to today, and I got some
Mm-hmm.
Brussels sprouts, and I don't even like Brussels sprouts. It's called Crab
Mm-hmm.
Company. Um,
Yeah, crack company. I
my
heard of that one.
assistant, yeah, I'm a crab. We have good seafood. My
Yes,
assistant,
most
El
definitely.
Tatar from South Carolina, I took her there, and they have shrimp fries,
Okay.
seafood fries.
I'm about to come try
And
that one.
yeah, seafood fried. And she's like, oh my God, I told her I was there today. And then also there's another, well, there's two more. I can Let me have four. There's another
Okay.
one called Shamia Eats, and they have all types of cuisine from African to oxtails to you name it, they have it. And then there's
Okay.
one more that is really, really good. I like it because the atmosphere, they play jazz.
Mm-hmm.
It's called In a Minute, and it's in Largo, Maryland. I actually know the owner.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are some that I would suggest. And the reason why I say that is because each one of them is a different
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ambiance. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
prices
yeah.
aren't, but they're not crazy.
Yeah.
You can get you a very good meal
Mm-hmm.
reasonably here in the DMV, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so,
Yeah, yeah.
so those are my hangout spots. You can find me there. I mean, Copper Canyon, when I come in, they're like, oh, it's Dr. Howard. They know what section I want to sit in. I'm like, oh, can you
Mm-hmm.
put me in section 63? All the waitresses
VIP.
know me. Yeah, the managers know me. I don't care what manager's on staff. They're like, Dr. Howard, is everything okay? Are you good? Are you this? Are you that? I'm like, yes, I'm good. I said, one day I'm gonna come
Mm-hmm.
in here with a husband. They're like, okay, well, we believe you, Dr. Howard.
Just tell
I
them
said,
it's on
one
the
day I
way.
will.
It's on the way.
Yes, but I
Yeah.
got stock in those places.
Mm-hmm. And then we have one more for you. Um, I had two, but I think I might switch it to one. Um, trying to figure out which one I want to go with now. All right, we'll just go with this. What's the biggest misconception of Dr. Veryl Howard?
Oh, that's a great question. Because I'm so bubbly and an outgoing type of person, I'm really not an outgoing type of person. I'm really
Mm,
alone.
mm,
And people don't know
okay.
that about me. I am really a loner. And I'm like a quiet country girl.
Hmm.
Like I like horses, riding horses. I like being out by the lake, chilling. Me and my man, we're gonna have picnics by the lake. But I am a loner,
Hmm.
very private. you
Hmm.
know I think my personality because my mom said I've always been over the top. That's all it is. It's my personality. But the other side of me, I'm very submissive. When I had a boyfriend, I used to ask him, "So how do you want me to wear my hair? What
Mm-hmm.
color, what clothes, what dress you want to see me?" I'm very submissive, and people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Mm-mm. No, I know how to tell these married women how to be submissive."
Mm-hmm.
And I recall one time I had a boyfriend, and my friends were like, "Where is Veryl? Is she anywhere?" They couldn't believe how submissive I was. They were like, "Could you come back to earth?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They were like, "Where's that strong, aggressive?" I said, "There's no need for that. He can do it."
Mm-hmm.
And they thought I was, well, Stepford wife or something. So a lot of people don't know that I have that side to me, and I try to minister to women
Mm-hmm.
about being like that, and letting their man be the head and not the tail. And
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they're any less than and they're not
Mm-hmm.
equal. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, but learn how to have that soft side and learn how to be humble and submissive. So people don't get to see that side of me as
Mm-hmm.
much because I'm always out working in the
Yeah.
industry and trying to make things happen for other people, not even me, for other people. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't get to see the side. The Bible says iron sharpens iron.
Yes, indeed.
That's the word of God. And so there's certain things that come out, when I don't know if you're married or not, Ontario. I think you're single because you said you would talk to your friends who were single. But when you get with your wife, there's another side of you that's going to come out that you're going to see because she's going to tap into areas with her tenderness that your boy can't tap into or your friend. You feel me? And
Mm-hmm.
so my girlfriends, I love them. They pray with me, they speak life over me, but it's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings out a different side of you. And so people
Mm-hmm.
don't get to see that side of me much because I'm working all the time. I have to be aggressive in this industry. I'm a prayer warrior. I'm an apostle. The Lord has me in these leadership roles. And so I have to present myself in a certain way, um, as being, strong, but
Mm-hmm.
still at the same token a woman.
Yes.
I'm still a
Mm-hmm.
woman at the end of the day.
Indeed. And of course, we come to the end now, but can you share how promoters or people, different churches, they can get in contact with you for booking? And also, can you share how they can sow a seed into your ministry?
No one has ever asked me that about sowing the seed that's interviewed me. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If they have, maybe once.
Mm-hmm.
To book me, they will go to uh, the number is called Faith Management and Talent 910-644-1824. And if
Mm-hmm.
no one picks up there, my assistant Elder Tara is 919
Mm-hmm.
924 2313. I have a
Mm-hmm.
website which is VerylHowardMinistries.net. And all of my socials are under Apostle Veryl Howard, Veryl Howard. And so that's how they can book me. If they want my book, they can go to Amazon
Yeah.
or Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something else you asked me. Oh,
How to sow a
if they
seed.
want to sew it to me, that's the big one. They can sew it to me. Oh my God. They can sew it to me at Cash App, which is $ Veryl, Veryl Howard, or they can sew it to me through Zelle. And
Mm-hmm.
Zelle is 910-644-1824.
All right.
And I thank you for asking that because I'm
Mm-hmm.
pouring every penny, every dime, every hundreds of dollars back into ministry. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm also pouring it into what God has called me to do with this book and this movie because I was
Mm-hmm.
just invited to come to Naples, Italy with my books
Oh, nice.
and to be a part of a platform out there, TV, radio, magazine, all of that, speak on a panel, the whole 9 yards. But I still, I need help. I need
Yeah.
sponsors
Hmm.
to go there. That's not cheap because they operate
Not
in
at all.
euros.
Yeah.
And so our money is almost
A
like
little
to
different.
okay, like to $100, it may be 70 of ours,
Yeah.
so I need sponsors with that so
Hmm.
I can go to these places that God is trying to send me to do ministry
Hmm.
with. So I thank you for asking that wonderful
Okay.
question.
No problem at all. Guys, go check it out on Tubi, check it out on the BET shows and films. Also, go get the book, and so she could present some more credible books to the people as well. And just, book her to come to your church to preach and be a blessing to your church, or whether it's a conference, whether it's a Sunday service, midweek service, book her. Also, book her artists as well. Um, let's keep them busy and booked. So again, was joined by the incredible, multi-talented and anointed Apostle Howard. Of course, it's Ontario ReShard. We're gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you.